Mommy Becky and Nature replied me, bro. This was like 8 years ago. And her response was, there was two feelings to it. There was the satisfaction of Mado, she responded, and lastly, the message, which was the solution to my problem. Hey guys, I woke up this morning with serious conviction, serious assurance that what? Everything will be okay. And that came with a reminder. 8 years ago, I was 23 years old. And for a 23 years old guy that was not so close to his dad, trust me, when I say not so close to my dad, I mean both of us were cat and dog, rats and cats. And I'm not sure if I was a rat or he was the rat, but we're both enemies. We never understood each other. For some weird reason, when I say A, he takes it as B. When I say B, he takes it as A. And there's what? Confusion. It was so frustrating for me because I was a young man trying to navigate life while these issues were still ongoing. It's disrespectful to speak back at your father, at your dad, at your guy then. Here in Africa, in Nigeria, it is in fact, it is an abomination to disrespect your father like that. You guys will agree with me. And it became a lifestyle for me because we were always in an argument. If he tells me, you're a very stupid child, I will tell him I'm not a stupid child. He'll say, so who is stupid? I will tell him I don't care. So he's probably the most stupid father or something. I woke up this one morning, 8 years ago, and I was tired of everything, exhausted. I'm not sure I liked the fact that myself and my dad were like that. I wanted a father and son relationship, but there was no. Aside that, life was life in me. I was living with my parents at this time, completely dependent on them. The only person that could provide for the family was my biggest enemy. What is the way out, Sammy? This story is coming with, or rather it's coming from an angle of challenge. It's coming from an angle where a Sammy at that time was boxed in an angle, in a position rather. I was scrolling through Instagram, through Facebook that morning, 8 years ago, and then I bumped into Mommy Becky Eneche's Facebook page. When I say Mommy Becky Eneche, I mean Pastor Apostle Paul Eneche's wife, her page on Facebook, and I wanted to rant. I didn't know who to talk to with regard to my father and Sammy's situation. My mom was exhausted. She don't call it so tired. Now I thought said it like this. And I didn't know what to do. So I said, you know what, Sammy? Rant in her page. She will not even see it. Tell her how you feel. She will not even see it. So I went on to write Mommy Becky Eneche a message on Facebook. And I want to read it out to you guys because it's weird how this came back to me this morning. I'm in a phase where I'm trying to figure out so much right now, trying to navigate chapters, and bam! I remember that I was stuck in a place. The good news or the sweetest part of this gist is that I conquered that chapter. And I'll tell you guys how I did. It's not even the topic. This whole story is bringing us to the topic. But let me read my message, the message I sent to Mommy Eneche, for you guys to understand this context better. Good evening, Ma. I find it difficult to relate to my father. We are always fighting. I know I'm not supposed to be rude to my father, but he keeps getting me with the kind of character he exhibits. I am. My English at time, oh God. I'm the only son of the house with 3 siblings, which I feel they are not sure what they want. They are confused. My mother is trying her best to put us on track, but I feel her limitation is our dad. I feel like I haven't learned anything from my dad throughout these last 22 years of my life. I understand he occupies a fatherhood position, but what should be done if that position is abused, Ma? This family, they asked for me Becky and Eche. I went further to say, I try my best to know God more. I try my best to understand the Bible, but I end up failing. All I do is cry and wish my dad was like other fathers. That's not all. Hold up. I am so frustrated to the extent that all I do is work hard to show him that I can survive. That I am not the failure he thinks I am. All I want to do is to make it and make him pay right now. I need your counsel. My name is Samuel Jacob, 200 level, ABU Zaria. I am happy anytime I'm not home, but I know I love him. But it's buried in a deep and dark vacuum in my heart, which simply means whenever I'm at home, it's exhausting. You get, I love my dad, but there's this hate inside of me. I hope my message gets to you. No doubt, my dad is responsible. He does not drink nor smoke. He pays our school fees in due time. And that's all. Every other thing I get is daily insults. And more, he feels that the best thing a child needs is what? Insults. Can you imagine this level of resentment? I woke up one morning, wrote all of this to somebody that I never known. I was just inspired by mommy Becky NHS Facebook page and felt like I could run to her. She's a mother. I was not even expecting her to reply me. This was on Facebook like 8 years ago. I was in 200 level. And bam, I left the Facebook page and continued my life. Frustrated boy that was not so close to his dad, but still very ambitious. Later that day, guess what, guys? I got a reply from mommy Becky Eneche. And it blew my mind. I'm like, what? And this I replied, listen, God bless you, my dear. The fact that he is doing as much as paying your school fees is enough to appreciate him for. Many don't have up to that. It is not right for him to insult you, and I encourage you to cancel every insult sent your way, even if it is when you leave his presence. Like my husband has said before, if you cannot learn what to do to be a good person from your parent, you can learn what not to do. Every experience is a learning experience, so be determined to learn lessons from your relationship with your father. Finally, there's nothing that can't be solved with prayer. Let God know the qualities you wish to see in your father and pray them into your life, and I shall hear your testimony. When Becky and Nature replied me, bro, this was like 8 years ago, and her response was, there was two feelings to it. There was a satisfaction of Mado, she responded, and lastly, the message, which was the solution to my problem. I didn't really get, after reading the message, I'm like, oh, really? But something stuck with me. If you cannot learn what to do to be a good parent from your parents, you can learn what not to do. That stayed with me, and I just remembered this morning. Thank you so much, Mommy Becky and Eche. If you can tag her on this post, please tag her. Tell her that, yes, there's a testimony. I'm very close to my dad now. We're like the best buddies. I came to realize that my dad had his own issues while I had my own issues. I was a serious stammerer at that time. It was frustrating to communicate. My dad would come back from the office exhausted, tired, and the least I can do is communicate for him to understand. But I go left, right, south, east, stammer my way all through the conversation. I don't get in. I don't understand what his reply is. And then there's a clash. The point I'm trying to drive out with this conversation is everybody have a chapter in their life that they are going through so much. And stammering can be your own chapter. Frustrating, depressing. The story I just gave you guys simply means I was a stammerer at that time, but I was comfortable at home because it was my home. I grew up there. They are comfortable with the fact that I had a speaking disability. There was no shame in that house. But I still had communication issue. I figured that out because I am here today, conquered stammering. I am more confident and a bunch of other stuffs. It's Big Sam voice. And today we're talking about how I overcame stammering. Overcoming stammering can be very, very interesting because in my case, it was confidence dependent in my case. Nobody will tell me overcoming stammering does not come with confidence improvement. For you to overcome stammering, I say again, it is confidence dependent. Secondly, you must try and figure out a way to, I don't know, talk slow. Yes, you must try and figure out a way to what? Talk slow, because talking faster or or trying to make your point in 1 second is one of the best strategies stammerers use to hide their disabilities. And I get it. I used to be a stammerer, and if I tell you ABCD, if I do ABCD to Z, you will not hear anything. You only hear A and Z. ABCD and Z. It will be like that. So we use talking fast as a major. We stammerer would usually use to hide our speaking limitation, and it can be very, very annoying. I had an Indian friend back then in secondary school. I'm a big storyteller. Yes, if you follow Big Sam Voice, you will know by now. I had an Indian friend back then in secondary school, and amazing person. My friend was a brother, Atahor Rahman. Yes. And they understood me. They knew I was they knew I was a stammerer, so it was not an issue for them. So most of the time, I'm not the one starting conversation. They come to me with this conversation and I try to keep up. So this fateful day, I was caught up in a conversation with Asma, Ata's sister, Indian people, and from Indian rather. I keep saying Indian people from Indian. So they were both schooling in my school. We were in a conversation and she was just listening to me. And I was talking, this, that, one, that, and she kept on listening to me. When I was done with my conversation, guess what she said to me? But Sammy, I can't even hear what you're saying. And I'm like, everything that I just said now, you didn't hear anything. See, she's like, Sammy, I honestly did not hear anything. Talking fast was one of the sweetest way to avoid the fact that I was a stammerer, even though I was making no sense. See me thinking I was raising up this girl because she's pretty, and above all, I was in secondary school and I was still trying to see if I can get a baby in secondary school. But everything I was saying was nonsense. There was no point. So, like I said, chill. We're about to have a good time because I will give you steps, strategy, stories, real life stories that will guide you onto that will guide you through your journey to overcoming stammering. The whole 26 years spent in Zaria was quite interesting because I never worked in my life. I never applied for any job. I never I never did any audition, no interview. My whole 26 years in Zaria was focused on going to school to become a psychologist. And then Big Brother came. Don't forget, still as a stammerer. When Big Brother came, the audition was Big Brother is part of my life. So every time you see me talk about Big Brother, it's because it kind of shaped me in a way. Am I mad? Big Brother shaped me. It came with speed. There was this fast forward it gave my life, and I'm grateful to the show and to the platform. I was saying I never did any sort of audition before the show. Big Brother was my first ever audition in my life. The few first stages were pretty much writing and expressing yourself either on paper or on your keypads. And I was not talking, so it was not an issue. Already a storyteller. My biggest flex is the fact that I can sit down and write a story and you will love it. So that audition chapter was stress-free. It was not an issue until I got a call. Hey, Sammy, Samuel Jacob, whatever the case is, you just got to the next stage of this process. You will need you in Lagos for a physical audition. I said, physical audition? They said, yes. So date, blah, 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 this. And then I dropped the call. I'm like, physical audition, Sammy, what's the plan? You are a goddamn stammerer. How do you intend to navigate through this chapter? I told myself, that one no be issue. Make plans. You never get transfer money. They talk about say the stammerer. Make plans to raise transfer money so that you feel enter Lagos. Fortunately for me, I got to Lagos. Beautiful day. First time in Lagos. Fine city. Took the bus from the mainland, from Bega, all the way to, that was when I had Okpaja, Obalende, all these places in Lagos was the time I got familiar with these axes. So this was like my first time in Lagos for what? Big Brother Nigeria physical audition. And then I got to the location where they were supposed to pick me up from. They blindfolded me, took me somewhere, moved, and it was time for me to what? Be auditioned. Guys, before I went into the audition, I told them, excuse me, can I ease myself? I was not pressed though. I went to the bathroom, went on my knee on that bathroom, and I told God, Papa God, I don't show. I know it's a stammerer, but let grace speak for me. And that was it. I played, there's this Apostle Joshua Selma short message on Instagram that I used to always listen to at that time. I think I replayed it and said these words, and then I went back, and then they called next person. And I walked in with my white top, there's this gray jean I used to have, and these very nice shoes. Those shoes, they don't have that year. I walked in and everybody there was looking so good. And for some weird reason, and that's where the God factor came in for me, because I don't think I've ever stood in front of anybody and not shake and not sweat and not try to figure out how I will communicate my points. I got into that audition room, stood in front of these people. They said, hi, how are you? And I responded, hi. They said, what's your name? They said, my name is Samuel Jacob. I stammered, but it never messed with my confidence. Where I realized something was happening was when, on every take, these people standing in front of me, about 8 of them, they were laughing their heels off. I just kept talking, responding to them. I was stammering in that time, in that process. Like, they were not focused on my stammering disability, or my speaking disability rather. They were focused on, my story. The story between my father and myself, growing up in Zaria, and my education journey. Pretty much Sammy, not his issues. And that was how everybody laughed all through my audition. When I was done, I went out, I'm like, hey, Chineke Meo, don't be seeing a comedy audition. I went in there and I was making people laugh. Maybe they don't go drop me, God, I don't know I'm not sure what the plan will be. And it was it. And that was how I found myself on the show, as a stammerer still. All the story I am building is to let you know that stammering can be a disability or a challenge or limitation for you, but you can use it to your advantage. Yes, you can use it to your advantage. If you see a stammerer talking, he was spoken to first. Facts. A stammerer that knows that he's a stammerer will not go into anywhere and go and start talking. If you see a stammerer trying to express himself, they asked him, tell us about yourself. They asked him, hi, how are you? What do you do? He was spoken to first. Yes, when I got on the show, it was dramatic because I had gotten on the show. I had gone through the audition process as a stammerer, and now I am on the Big Brother show with people from different race, different background, financial status, whatever the case is. I am also there with my undergraduate experience, my Northern experience, and my stammering limitations. How did I conquer it? Yes. How did I navigate through this chapter? This is where we're coming to right now. Disclaimer. I am not a speech pathologist. Yes, I am not a speech pathologist. I am a stammerer who doesn't stutter anymore. Oh yes, I am a stammerer who can speak to you and you would listen to. I am a stammerer who is to stammer his way through every goddamn conversation, but today does not do that anymore, or doesn't do that anymore. Thank you. I have about 4 or 5 steps to tell you or to show you on how to overcome stammering. And it comes with a lot of stories too. Oh yeah. If you don't like stories, man, please kindly subscribe to my channel and go, then wait for the next episode. You might like it. It's no news that I was a stammerer. Yes, that stammerer that I wanted to get everything a stammerer could not, from becoming an OAP to acting to even going on the Big Brother show. All of these are stuff that a stammerer would not want to be involved in if he does not want to be laughed at or embarrassed. As simple as that. If you get, stammerers always have shame, and I understand. The first thing I did as a stammerer to overcome stammering or stuttering was recognizing that I had stammering and it was a problem. The first thing I did as a stammerer for me to overcome stuttering was recognizing that I was a stammerer and it was a problem. Yes, recognizing that I was a stammerer came with a level of ease, to be honest, because this is what I did at that time. If I was ever caught up in a conversation, I let the receiver of my stammering or of the message I'm trying to pass know that I had the stammering limitation. I update you in time. If you tell me, hey Sammy, how are you? Hope you're good, and I respond, and we're having a good conversation, I pause mid-convo and tell you, look, I apologize in advance. I'm a stammerer. So in case I stammer, do not be pissed. I am so sorry. The person, for some weird reason, that confession low-key builds curiosity. The person is now interested in knowing who the hell I am. And then we start talking. The person is comfortable with the fact that I'm a stammerer. No more laughing at me for doing, I used to, all of those stuff. It was no longer an issue for the person. The person would just be there, would patiently wait for me to land, get the point, and then we continue and move to the next chapter. It was that flexible for me. So if you're a stammerer, it's no shame. If you're a stammerer, I like to call it a speaking limitation, a speaking disadvantage, which can be corrected. I like to call stammering a phase in your life, as a special phase in your life that if you recognize, you can conquer. That if you recognize, and I assure you, it is the first stage towards overcoming that disadvantage or that limitation. Sorry. Water helps me, It does not stop any stammering. I'm just joking. It does not stop any stammering. So recognizing that you have the stuttering problem can be a big flex for you, as it helps the listener or the receiver of your message understand this is you not being vulnerable in a very, very unique way. The next factor I would want you to consider if you want to overcome stammering is this: confidence. Oh yes, the almighty confidence. Overcoming stammering has everything to do with confidence. What makes up a confident man? Let's talk. A confident man is somebody that can express himself boldly, like, hey guys, my name is Samuel Jacob. I'm a filmmaker, the host of Big Sam Voice, aspiring director. Of course, I want to be one of the best filmmaker coming from Africa, and above all, I'm trying to be like a billionaire. People don't get to it now. I carry confidence, Abi. That's just me that's me looking at my future and speaking about it in a very confident way and trying to tell you who the hell I am. If I was a stammerer, the first time I did Big Sam Voice, the first episode of Big Sam Voice, let me give you guys a background story. I had already had plans for Big Sam Voice, how I wanted Big Sam Voice to be, and how I want my audience to receive me. And my biggest challenge was day one, because I was not sure how to conquer stammering. I was not sure how to overcome stammering. I think this story should just chill for the next point, because I think it will feel better for my next point. So you guys, I just baited you guys. If you want to know how Big Sam Voice started as a stammerer, I started as a stammerer. The person behind the camera will confirm. Mo, am I lying? I want your voice out.
True.
So it's not a go combat. I came there and I started all through episode 1. I had a guest on that show, Jackie B. Jakibo was even telling me, and Sammy, just when we talk slow. It's a defining moment for me. I'll tell you guys how I conquered that on the next episode, on the next point. Let me just go with my confidence point so that you guys can follow this gist step by step. You cannot overcome stammering if you're not confident. And to be honest, it's not easy to be confident. You have to, it's a lot of work. There's anxiety, there's pressure. All these things are coming from where? Within. If it was an external factor, then I understand. You can say, you know what? Make I cover my eye talk. You can say, make I back everybody talk. But no, they were all coming from within. They are all coming from within. For instance, anxiety. When you're anxious, what does it sell? For instance, when you're anxious, what does it really sell? A lot of stuff. You let the receiver of this energy define who you are. Loser, not worthy, even if despite the fact that you're worthy. Lastly, not qualified enough for whatever the case is. Let me give you guys an instance, a story for instance. You are, okay, as a storyteller, let me narrate it like this. It's labor time for Chiamaka. Yes. And her husband is there, obviously. They just told them that, we cannot have this child the natural way. We have to rush your wife to the theater. It was serious pain. Just, I don't know, man, for some weird reason, women have to undergo this process. Then they rushed them to the theater. As they are setting them up, two men walk into the office. One is very, very bold. While the second is very, very, I'm not sure. Let me use this to explain both personality. Let's say the Dr. A says, his head is down like this. Hi, welcome to the theater. The sixth session we're going to, it's not even looking at both of you. Now where they go through labor, where life don't hard for your wife. Your wife she's about to give birth. Doctor constant for your front, they talk like that. What thing they happen? He's finished, done with all his, as he's trying to explain, the session, the theater, the process, the next doctor interrupts and said, hey, I am sorry. What he's trying to say is this. We're about to have a very interesting session. Your wife will have her son in her hand in no time. In fact, breastfeeding that child. Sir, you're the husband, yeah? Do you want to be here or you have to excuse us because we're about to, you have to let us do a job and all of that. Who would you choose to operate on your wife? Sir? Ma? Is it the man that is very, very, or the man that is bold to communicate? Let me give you a second to think. Who? You will choose the bold person now. I honestly do not blame you. He was able to communicate himself. He was able to express himself. But there's one factor that I want you guys to look at now. What if I tell you that both of them are very, very experienced doctor? In fact, the reserved one is more of a surgeon than the bold one. The bold one has, let's say, 6 to 7 deaths already in his hand as a young surgeon, while the reserved one has no death. In fact, he's a king when he's holding those knives. He does not, did they talk for surgery? No. Did they cut? Did they arrange? I know Sabi saw, anything what did they do for there? Did they run up? You guys understand what I'm saying? But his disability held his talent behind. We are used to human beings take what they see, what they hear, what they receive. What if, okay, even in that chapter, in that sector, in that place, you chose, for instance, the bold person, the one with all the deaths, and then you overhear somebody saying, the doctor that they have chosen is good, but he has like 8 deaths. Look at how Stammering has limited Dr. Kelvin, the other calm, non-expressive doctor, because he is so good with the knife. What will you do? You don't hear 8 deaths. Bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. 8 deaths. That one, you will go for the other doctor because you will not take that risk with your wife. He has no debt. He's not bold. He's not confident. He's not even expressive. He has like 8 deaths, but he get mouth past everybody. Their papa. He knows how to market himself. Stammering can limit you. If you don't build your confidence, then it's going to be a major factor. Let me tell you how to build your confidence. What I did to gain confidence. Fake it until you make it. Oh yes. In this context, it's not a go and kill yourself. Because that's not what I'm trying to sell to you, my brother and my sister. That is not the point. My point here is, you have a quest at hand. You have a challenge and you want to overcome it. Overcoming it comes with confidence. And you do not, the issue you have is stammering. And if you're stammering, it simply means you do not have confidence. And if overcoming confidence comes with faking it, why not fake it? To be honest, you're not an actor. Pretend to be an actor and see if you know act. You're not a mechanic. Pretend to be a mechanic and see if you don't look like one. Wear mechanic clothes, rub grease for your body, stand for mechanic workshop. Whether they're going to look like mechanic. You get? And that brings us to the story I was giving, which was about how I started Big Sam Voice. Oh yes. How I started Big Sam Voice. The first day on the show was challenging, was traumatic, was everything because I stammered all through. But then I told myself, Sammy, you must learn how to be Big Sam no matter what. You must learn how to be Big Sam. And I'll come to the studio, go behind the scene and just be, okay, nobody knows. I don't know whether they know. Maybe more, no, I don't know. You get me? But the truth is this. I'll be there and I'm just trying to get myself on check and I still come and I do the first intro and they tell me, you cannot just do intro and cut. You have to get your intro one time so that we know because of post-production. All of those thoughts were coming in. And gradually, I became a pro when it comes to talking to the mic. Am I lying? Am I lying, Mo? I became a proper talker. I was faking it until I became Sammy. And when I became Big Sam on this seat, I realized that I was not actually faking it. I've always been Big Sam. I have always been Big Sam. Faking it as a term was one of the terms I used personally to help me conquer that level or that chapter. Secondly, for it to gain confidence, you must look it. You must look it. You have an interview, for instance, as a stammerer. Oh yes, you, a stammerer. You have an interview, for instance, and you went there looking like trash. What's the plan? You're already a stammerer. Why not? Why you dressed like nothing? Put on your suits. Wear your nice outfit as a lady. Go and get your hair cut. For a lady, braid. Look for perfume, nice perfume. When you enter that place, the place where you apply for work, when you enter, or go and fire them, they must notice you. So why, meaning? If you enter that place, whether it's a studio, whether it's an office, whether it's whether it's a new office, when you enter the office, they will notice you and they will give you what? Attention. Imagine after noticing you, there was this content I saw somewhere on Instagram. And these guys were going to apply for a job and this guy went in with his suit and told everybody, Alpha, did you guys get an envelope? And they were like, no. The guy was like, he was the first person to come here and the boss said they should go and buy an envelope. He now told them to go and buy an envelope. Everybody now went out. As soon as everybody went out, the people that were going to interview them came and said, where's everybody? It's like, those people, they just changed their mind and said that you guys were wasting time to come and talk to them. And they left. The man was like, are you serious? The man said, yes. Now said, okay, let me see your qualification. Luckily, his qualification was ready. Everything was on check. That's how he got the job. It was more hilarious than the way I just explained. I don't know. But he came there dressed, looking like shit. And the rest was story. If you walk in somewhere and they tell you, you look good, how would you feel? Honestly, you will feel very good. I started working out as a very lazy gym rat. Very tiny, slim gym rat. Zero muscle. But they call me. You guys understand what I'm saying now? And then, I was consistent. 3 months down the lane, 4 months down the lane. And one day I was hungry after a long workout session. And then I was walking. No, I took an Uber from iFitness, Admiralty, to Black Bell. I was going home. Yeah, in Lekki Phase 1. So I stopped at Black Bell, came down from the Uber. I was about to walk in when this car pulled in with speed. It was a Prado. And then bam, they wind down and told me, yo, look, they wind down and they were all girls, pretty girls, fine ladies. Eish. They told me, yo, we followed you from iFitness. We saw when you hopped into your Uber. We drove behind you, because we wanted to tell you this. And I said, what? I was scared at first. Boy, you look so good. Your body is insanely sexy. I'm like, these guys drove all the way from iFitness Admiralty and came to meet me at Black Bell to tell me that I look good body-wise. That is to say, all the effort where they put for workouts, it did work. I'm like, really? They said yes, and they drove off. I went to buy my food. That was the sweetest thing anybody ever did for me with regards to workouts, with regards to the gym. Since that day, from that day, me and gym, 5 and 6, we die for the gym. No be muscle. We must get the muscle. No be power. No be packs. 6 packs. No be chest. So I'm not trying to be a bouncer. Come on, I'm a soft boy now. What are you talking about? Bouncer, Nibo. No bouncing anybody. Not to be a fine boy that goes to the gym, that is healthy for his wife. Yes, and for his family. That's what's up. The reward I got to motivate me to work out was the compliment from those girls. They don't even know what they did for me. They don't even know what they do for me. God go bless una anywhere una day. My point is this. That story came with a reward, and that reward motivated me. The story I gave about the guy that went to apply for a job, looking all good, telling them to leave, even though it was a bad approach, his reward was getting the job. The story I gave, or the scenario or example I gave with dressing properly, looking nice, the reward you get for looking that way is a compliment. Oh my God, you look so good. That compliment already will give you one level of confidence that you look good. Lico Rose invited me for her birthday 1 year. I think it was 2 years ago. Hey, Lico Rose, how are you? 2 years ago. And just my stylist at that time brought one outfit. It was a glam event. Glam event. But the outfit my stylist bring, I don't understand. She brought it was something like this, but it was nets. And it was shiny nets. I was still a bit lanky at that time. Nobody said I get muscle. Yes, I was becoming, who would put the person I am right now, a proper gentleman. I was becoming that person, and the clothes was not just, just the fit. Yes. The clothes, not just the sit down for my body. And to cut this long story short, I went to the event, not feeling myself. I'm already one step backward. Me we get stammering issue. I don't already go wear shirt and where I don't even like. I got to the event, everybody were putting on suits. Everybody were putting on fine. And I sat down in that event. That event had people. I could not say one word. A few people spoke to me. Beverly also came to say hi to me. Hey, you're that guy on the Big Brother show. I love your story. Blah, 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 blah. I could not even communicate so well because my stammering was 100% on me. I didn't like my outfit, so communicating was hard. I was just responding with yes, oh yes, and then I left. I went to sit down by myself. So please, dress nice and get that first compliment. Afterward, fake it and show them that you can do it. Talk slow. My next point, overcoming stammering. Talk slow. I don't have much time and I want to just fast forward it for you guys to just follow. Talk slow. And this is what I did to help me with this particular point. My phone alarm, my alarm system. Yes. I set up an alarm for what? Every hour, which is what? And on that alarm, it had talk slow as the title. So every hour, every time of the day, whether I was in a conversation, whether I was sleeping, whether I was dreaming, whether I was banging or shagging, whatever the case is, my alarm comes on and it says what? Talk slow. Lucky me if I'm in any conversation and I'm making stupid points, just throwing my word sporadically and I see that alarm, I relax. And I'm like, all right, so this is the point I'm making, guys. Everything, blah, blah, blah. And I make my point. And as I make that point slowly, I see that the listeners are what? Concentrating better. I notice that I'm getting their attention. And that on its own has been a big flex. It's a reward for what? Listening to my words. Alarm. So if you want to talk slower, if you want to use my approach, just put an alarm on your phone every 1 hour for every day. Title talk slow in capital letter and see how that will help you if you talk very fast already. All of these points will not be doable without the God factor. I don't think so. God's grace has helped me from the beginning. You've noticed, the person I reached out to was Mommy Becky Neche 8 years ago because I had like the father issues. I've always been a Koinonia boy. Apostle Joshua Selma, all the way from Zaria, and I am still a Koinonia boy. Some of you used to see me at Koinonia. And they'll be like, there's somebody that's called me Jesus baby. Funny girl. But I am a Jesus baby. And all of these chapters, all of this phase, all of these challenges have brought me to the man I am today. It's not easy to become a confident person. You will need God to help you become that person. It's not easy to try to prove to people that you're exactly who you are. They cannot define you with what they think about you or what they've heard about you unless you have the God factor involved. It's not easy to overcome stammering without the God factor because you see some people in their 50s, 60s, and they are still stammerers. Do you guys agree with me? Some people that should not be stammerers still stammering. It's not me sweeping them under the carpet. It's me saying you can still conquer stammering. It's not part of you. It's a chapter that you have neglected and it's still with you. But if you want to stop stammering, if you want to overcome stammering, you have to what? Give yourself this quest. And the mission is simply, first, admit that you're a stammerer. Yes. Recognize that you're a stammerer. Second, build that confidence. Even when I had nothing, I had like no level of flex or no level of vibes. I faked it until I became very confident. Find yourself. I said, make your hair, wear nice outfits, spray nice perfume. But you know, go spray 100,000 perfume, but you can borrow perfume. Yes, for that particular day. You must prove to them that your stammering is not who you are. And lastly, and above all, train yourself to talk slow. Record yourself talking. Yes, it's weird, it's funny. Put your camera, record yourself talking for 5 minutes. Pause, listen to yourself talk first. Then watch yourself talk so that you look at your speaking and your body movements. And the honest truth is this, if you take these steps that I've listed and you follow them, I promise you, listen to me, I promise you, you would not stammer anymore. Today I am Sammy, the actor, the host, the storyteller, the man with the voice. Not because I never stammered, but because I chose to fight until my voice got louder than my fears. If you are listening to me right now, don't let shame blow your destiny. Stammering, poverty, depression, or whatsoever, don't let it end your story. With confidence, discipline, God, you can rewrite your scripts. I am a living proof that you can conquer what once conquered you. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Yes, hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this session. Tell me what your stammering experience has been. Family, friend, whatever the case is. I say again, subscribe to my channel, Kilude. And I'll see you on my next episode. Bless up, guys.